testimony. Okay, I believe that everyone has joined. Let's go on the record.
Sorry, Judge.
Yes.
I'm still contacting commissioners. Give me just a minute.
Oh, not a problem. We're not on the record yet. Lisa, sorry for the false start.
Okay, I've contacted everyone. It may be another minute or two before they get logged in.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, is that Commissioner Kolkmeyer?
This is David Clayton calling in again because I got disconnected from the meeting.
Oh, I apologize for that. We're glad to have you. I have you signed up on my list as a witness. Mr. Clayton will begin in just a minute. We're waiting for the last few people to join.
Are we done with the first stage, I guess? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, the question and answer session is over, and what we're doing now is we're switching to the testimony or the comment period. The commissioners I see have signed on, and so we'll get started with the hearing. But what will happen now is basically we will swear in each of the witnesses that come forward and then ask them to make their comments to the commissioners. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just troubled because I was speaking to the group in the first session, and then all of a sudden I get beep beep in my ear, and I'm like looking at my phone. I'm like, I got full signal, so I know my phone didn't drop it. But I didn't get to finish what I was saying to them. So okay, so all right. Well, thank you, sir.
Okay, I do apologize for that. We do have some technical issues that do pop up from time to time. If you didn't get a chance to finish your comments, I will be giving instructions later on how to provide written comments so that the commissioners can make sure and get your full commentary, Mr. Clayton. With that,
Okay,
let's go on the record. First, I would like to ask everyone that to please mute themselves unless they are speaking. That'll cut down not only on the noise level, but also prevent audio feedback. Today is June 23rd, 2021. The Missouri Public Service Commission has set this time for a local public hearing in case number GR-2021-0108, which is captioned as in the matter of Spire Missouri, Inc., doing business as Spires, request for authority to implement a general rate increase for natural gas service provided in the company's Missouri service areas. The Commission has scheduled this local public hearing to give members of the public a chance to comment about Spire's application. The Missouri Public Service Commission regulates the rates charged by public utility companies in Missouri to ensure that those rates are just and reasonable. The Commission also regulates the quality of service and safety of the operations. The Commission is made up of 5 members. The commissioners are appointed by the governor and confirmed by the Senate. The commissioners employ a staff of engineers, accountants, attorneys, financial analysts, and other specialists in the field of utility regulation. My name is Charles Hatcher, and I am the regulatory law judge, and I will be presiding over this hearing. With me today are Commissioners Sylvie and Kolkmeyer. Lisa, can I get a wave? My screen seems to have frozen. I want to make sure I'm still online.
Judge, this is Commissioner Sylvia. I can see you.
I'm waving. I can see and hear you, sir.
Okay, can anybody hear me?
Judge,
I
this
can
is
hear.
Commissioner Sylvia. I can see you, and well, now you've turned off, but I can hear you.
I'm going to say off the record until he returns.
We could hear him. This is Commissioner Kochmeyer.
Gotta love technology.
While he's off, this is a court reporter. What other commissioner do we have today?
Hey, Lisa, it's Jackie. We have all the commissioners except Commissioner Coleman.
Thank you so much.
And I can send you a list of everyone that is here to your email.
Okay, thanks.
Can I be heard?
Whoever just asked, yes, you can be heard.
Okay, I have a quick question. I was asking in the ending of the previous session, when the last time the commission turned down a rate increase for any utility? Any of you guys happen to know that?
Unfortunately, this is not really the proper place or with the commissioners on it. I don't know that we can answer that question right now. If you'd like to, is this Mr. Clayton again?
Yes, it is.
If you'd like to call me at the number I gave you, I can try and help answer your questions, or I can put you in contact with staff of the commission, or you can contact Spire, directly ask them questions. I apologize.
This is John?
Yes, this is John Kleiser from OPC.
Oh, okay, John. Okay, John, we can talk about that later. Thank you, sir.
Okay, here's Phil West again from St. Louis, Missouri. And again, I would like to have something positive to say about Spire, because in my eyesight, they haven't been as bad
Sir?
as the electric company. And,
This is the
and
judge.
Is it all right
I'm
to
back.
continue?
If we can cease conversation, please.
Okay, then. I'll stand by.
All right, thank you.
Judge, this is Lisa. I ended with you stating that you have Sylvie, Commissioner Sylvie, and that's all we got.
We're having a bit of technical difficulty. Can you hear me now? Yes, I see you nodding. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and we'll get started with the introduction of the attorneys for the parties. If Spire would please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Judge. This is Matt Applington representing petitioner Spire Missouri, Inc., 700 Market Street, St. Louis, Missouri, 63101.
Thank you. And for the staff of the Missouri Public Service Commission.
Thank you, Judge. Let the record show Bob Berlin appearing on behalf of the staff of the Missouri Public Service Commission, located at 200 Madison Street, Jefferson City, Missouri, 65102.
And for the Office of the Public Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. John Kleiser, appearing on behalf of the Office of the Public Counsel. Business address, Governor Office Building, Suite 650, 200 Madison Street, P.O. Box 2230, Jefferson City, Missouri, 65102. Thank you.
Thank you. And we had a number of intervening parties in the case. If any representatives of those interveners are present and would like to introduce themselves, please go ahead.
Judge, this is Lewis Mills of the law firm of Brian K. Leighton Paisner, appearing on behalf of Vicinity Energy, Kansas City. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. Okay, the process will be to call the names as I have them listed on the sign-up sheet, and I will call them in the order that they registered to appear. So when I call your name, I would ask that you please go ahead and unmute. I will then place you under oath, and then ask you to state and spell your name, and then ask for any comments that you have for the commissioners. I do want to remind everyone, first, the commission has not made any decisions in this case, and the commissioners cannot answer any questions today because they do have to remain impartial until after all of the evidence is presented. My second announcement is dealing with the WebEx and the odd hearing situation that we have. For our telephone users, to unmute, you press *6. And for our computer users, it's just a button on your computer. So with that, I will go ahead and begin calling our witnesses. And at the end of the hearing, I will call for any ratepayers that would like to give testimony but did not sign up early. So we'll start with the signed up witnesses. Is Omar Hassan available? I see Mr. Hassan on video.
Yes.
Mr. Hassan, I'll swear you in now. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Would you please state your name and spell your last name for the court reporter?
Omar Hassan, HOSSI.
And go ahead and give your comments to the commission.
I'm just curious as to why didn't you get a rate increase for Spire? Did the price of natural gas go up or something?
Okay, as I mentioned, Mr. Hosen, we can't answer questions. The question and answer period was at the beginning of this hearing. This portion is really to give testimony to the commissioners, if you're for the increase or against the increase or any issues that you might have.
Again.
Okay. Did you have any other comments you wanted to make?
No, I don't. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your participation and for attending. Do any commissioners have questions for Mr. Hosen? Hassan, I'm sorry.
No questions. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Hassan, you are excused from our virtual witness stand. Please, you're welcome to stay around for the rest of our hearing. Mallory Rush. Is Mallory Rush available? The last name is R-U-S-C-H. Okay, I'll call that name again at the end. Allison Kite. Allison Kite, K-I-T-E. And again, if you are on a telephone, it is *6 to unmute yourself. Okay, we'll come back to Ms. Kite and David Clayton. I was speaking with Mr. Clayton when we first got on. Mr. Clayton, are you still there?
I am.
Excellent. I will swear you in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton. Would you please give your comments to the commissioners?
Yes, sir. Okay. In my written statement, as many things repeated as I mentioned in the previous session, but here we go. So the last increase was filed in 2017 and concluded on April 19, 2018. It's a tiny bit over 3 years, and while always turning a handsome profit year after year, as I will mention in a minute. Perhaps tax cuts that Trump put into place in 2017 that helped consumers of Spire by a whole 40 cents and that Biden is about to do away with play into this plan affecting all middle-income consumers because it is a dollar for dollar increase. If Biden raises $1 billion in tax, then we are paying $1 billion, right? So just out of curiosity, how many representatives are here today for Spire? I got that answered. Spire has more than 1.7 million customers, making them the 5th largest publicly traded natural gas company in the country, according to their homepage. How many more than 1.7 million out of curiosity? I kind of got that answered. Spire's homepage says Spire is committed to transforming their business and pursuing growth through growing organically, 2, investing in infrastructure, 3, advancing through innovation. But the homepage does not say anything about pursuing growth through rate increases. Spire's proposed rate increase would be an average increase of $328 or 5.6% per month, which translates to approximately $5,576,000 per month, or about $67 million per year, over and above what they currently take in, just for reference. So it's like $66.912 million to be exact, based on the average being requested. I always thought, apparently mistakenly, that infrastructure improvements were done for the profits gained from a company's income, wherein you would not necessarily make as much profit in that particular year that you have to make an infrastructure investment. But it appears you, Spire that is, make infrastructure improvements at the expense of the customers, again, to maximize stock returns for the stockholders. Now, publicly traded companies are more concerned with turning a profit for stockholders than any concern for the customers in this current environment, where too many people are currently struggling to make ends meet. By the way, Spire owns 81.66% of the company's stock. So since only the remaining 18.34% is publicly held, it appears that the main concern for maximizing stock returns is for Spire, not the public shareholders. I was not able to find out what percentage of these stocks executives hold, but based on some of my personal investments, I would guess that the percentage is high, and therefore a larger incentive to maximize returns for the executives and upper management more than anything else. Don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against people making money, but when people are making large amounts of profits at the expense of their customers because they control a monopoly, I have a big concern about that type of business model. How many of you Spire representatives hold stock in Spire? How many wish to share how much stock they hold or stand to profit on if this rate increase request is approved? This is kind of derogatory, but are you currently paying dividends? I ask because my stocks that used to pay dividends have suspended them due to the economic crisis of the last 16 months, excuse me. But I actually know the answer to that question. According to TD Ameritrade, Spire is still paying an annual dividend yield of 260 or 3.44%, while Spire is now asking this commission to approve asking their customers to pay an additional approximate amount of 328 or 5.6% per month, excuse me. Based on 260 per share dividend for the period March 1, 2021 through April 14, 21, the quarterly dividend rate was 06/10 of 21, and payment date is 07/02 of 21. Spire's website, their homepage, they have a growing dividend for 18 consecutive years. 18 years! An attractive yield of 3.6%, which they proudly put on their homepage. That's offensive. Spire's homepage also says that in the last 5 years, you have quadrupled your enterprise value, now at more than $6 billion. Not many businesses can make such a claim. It also says Spire has a robust 5-year CapEx plan with a 7 to 8% annual rate base growth of $3 billion. If this is accurate, then Spire is definitely making a substantial amount of money, and profits apparently not being used for infrastructure. This is an impressive annual rate and base growth while you're asking for 5.6% monthly rate increase from customers. It appears that in today's financial environment, while most of the people in this country are struggling financially, you are requesting a rate increase at a most awkward moment in time. And customers have to pay because they cannot go get a better rate at a competitor because there are no competitors for utilities like the gas, electric, and water monopolies. I was wondering how often the Missouri Public Service Commission denies these types of rate increases from utility companies, because I don't know of any. I did some research. I couldn't find any. Do the representatives from Spire or the Missouri Public Service Commission honestly believe that Spire deserves or actually needs a rate increase at this time? Or as I said earlier, is this just a business move to maximize stock returns for the shareholders? And with that, I conclude.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Clayton. Do any commissioners have any questions for Mr. Clayton?
No questions. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right, thank you, Mr. Clayton. You are excused from our virtual witness stand. Please feel free to stick around for the rest of the hearing. I'll go back to our other two names on the list, and then I will, yes, go ahead.
No, I just said thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, sorry. Sometimes with the lag, things get a little confusing.
I get it.
So with that, I will call Mallory Rush. Is there a Mallory Rush who wishes to testify? Kite. Okay, let's open it back up to anyone else who did not sign up. If you would like to testify, just please speak up and I'll swear you in.
Hi, Judge. This is Todd Jordan. I would like to testify.
Yes, Mr. Jordan. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. My name is Dr. Todd Jordan. I'm the Chief Community Engagement Officer with United Way of Greater Kansas City. I've been with United Way for 6 years, and in my various roles, I've directly provided utility assistance to people in need, meaning I answered the calls, assessed the eligibility, provided payment for the bills, and I also recently helped to coordinate our multi-million-dollar Metro-wide assistance effort. United Way across Missouri partners closely with Spire in getting assistance to customers in need. I know that many of the folks who called in today have certainly been asking about programs, and aside from what Spire provides, I would also offer that 211, a number that you can dial at any time, will connect you to your local United Way for assistance. We have always been able to provide assistance to those who are low income, elderly, disabled, and as well as a lot of other pandemic-related programs that are currently available right now. Utilities are a critical component of keeping people stably housed, and this is particularly true for many of the folks on the call today, as well as who could benefit from various forms of services and support offered with, both through Spire as well as through United Way. One of the key elements of United Way is the work that we've done with Spire on a daily basis. The care and attention Spire pays to helping get ratepayers in need of assistance. The help they require has been a huge part of what we've been able to accomplish over the last year. Of particular help is the nonprofit partner portal built by Spire that makes it very easy to work through a customer's account as well as make financial pledges for assistance. The customer support team is also extremely knowledgeable, responsive, and helpful when we reach out about a customer's account. Again, as somebody who personally provided utility assistance, that is a make or break deal in terms of the expediency of assistance to prevent disconnection of services or restoration of services. The support of Spire through ratepayers to United Way has been essential to helping our community all across the state, and we are very grateful for their partnership, and I'm happy to have this opportunity today to testify about Spire's role in the community. Again, please call 211 or look at the Spire website if you need assistance, and I thank you for the time and now yield the floor.
Thank you, Dr. Jordan. Very good information to pass along. Do any commissioners have questions for Dr. Jordan?
No questions, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Jordan, you are excused from our virtual witness stand. Please feel free, of course, to stay around for the rest of the hearing. Are there any other persons who would like to testify to the commission?
Judge Phil West of St. Louis, Missouri, if I can have the floor.
Absolutely. Tell me your last name again. I didn't quite catch that.
That's West, W-E-S-T.
Thank you, Mr. West. Let me swear you in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. Please go ahead and give your comments to the commission.
Thank you so much. Again, I'm Phil West of St. Louis, Missouri, a consumer. I'm a 65-year-old vet. And in my eyesight, I believe that Spire could deserve a thumbs up or a handshake sometimes, because I thought that they've been pretty reasonable in comparison to the way the electric company is taxing us. Now, as far as going up, times are going to change as we go along anyway. So inflation is going to bring prices up on everything in every area. So I don't see the big deal about them going up a couple of dollars. It's when you go up so hard and then the economy's income don't go up with it. Where we're stuck at is the income to go up along with the way these bills are hitting us upside the head. So I don't feel that Spire has done all of that bad since they've been around. I am at least one of the consumers that feel that they need a handshake along the way. They're doing a fine job in my eyesight because they are not even compatible with the electric company or the ones that's beating us up. And I would like to thank everyone for their time. And with that, I'll pass. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. West. I appreciate your comments and I appreciate your service. Do any commissioners have any questions for Mr. West?
No questions, Judge. Thank you for your testimony, sir, and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Your Honor, I'm sorry,
Yes.
once again, can I pose a question to Mr. West? This is John Kleiser with
Thank
the
you so
OPC
much,
for the
everyone.
record.
Mr.
Yes, thank you so much,
Kleiser.
everyone.
No, Mr. Kleiser, I'm not going to allow that.
Understand. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate your understanding. Thank you. Let's see if there are any other witnesses. Are there any other persons who would like to testify to the commission today?
Hello.
Yes, and who is this?
First name is Anton. Last name is Dubinsky, Dubinsky.
All right, Mr. Dubinsky, I'll swear you in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony? Mr. Dubinsky?
Yes.
Do you swear or affirm that you're going to tell the truth?
Yes, I do. You cut out there. I'm sorry.
Oh, I apologize. We've been having a couple issues this afternoon. I'm sure that's on my end. Mr. Dubinsky, please go ahead and give us your comments.
Okay. The mail-out documents that were sent out, they're using a 5.6% increase per month, and that's based on $3.28 for roughly 63 therms of fuel used, and that equates to roughly a nickel a therm. And in the question and answer period, I had asked whether or not this was going to $3.28 was going to replace the current, on my bill, $2.78, or if it would be added. And the comment that was received was that the current $2.78 was going to be rolled into the general rate, and therefore the ISRIS charge would reset back to zero, and we would be starting out at $3.28. And I have objections to that because that $2.78 will never go away. It's now part of the permanent rate, and it should not be added to the current rate. So their average is 63 therms. I've done the math and gone back, and I average 91 therms. And so for me, that's going to be an increase of $4.73, which exceeds their estimate of $3.28. That comes out to $56.79 annually, where currently at $2.78 per month, I'm paying for $33.36. So if you take the new rate, if you add the two together, it's $7.51 for me. That's a $90.15 annual estimated cost. And if you do the math, that's a 170% increase. So I just think that's excessive. And I want to know where. I've gone back. They've been collecting this ISFRS back since 2005 that I have. It started out at 20 cents and then has significantly, it's all over the map. Some years it's 70 cents, some years it's 86 cents. The highest was $3.94 back in 2017. So I just kind of feel this is just a money grab, and like some of the other comments, they're just trying to recover their $1.6 billion, but they've had 17 years to do this since 2005. So where's all that ISFRS for the last 17 years? Where's it been done? What's been done with that, all those funds? I don't see any crews out there digging up, tearing up streets. So I just don't see where this increase is justified. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Dubinsky, for your comments. Are there any questions from the commissioners for Mr. Dubinsky?
No questions from me. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right. Are there any other, Mr. Dubinsky, I'm sorry, you're excused from our virtual witness stand. Please feel free to stick around for the rest of the hearing. Are there any other persons who would like to testify to the commission? Okay, we are winding down then. I'll call for closing remarks in just a moment. One last time, are there any other callers or persons who would like to testify? If you're on the phone and need to unmute, it is *6. Okay, thank you all. Are there any closing remarks from our commissioners?
Thank you,
Judge, I don't know if Dr. Jordan is still on the call, but I'd like to commend him for what he's doing, as well as the United Way for their program and in this. So I'd like to commend him if he's still on here. So thank you.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer, thank you for your comments. Any other commissioners?
Thank you, Judge. I just want to thank everyone for participating today. This is one of the only opportunities we have to hear from the public and those affected by the cases. So I appreciate your participation. Thank you.
Any other commissioners? Thank you. I would like to join the chairman and also thanking all of our participants today for their testimony. If you do have additional comments, you know of someone who could not be present, or perhaps you had some technical difficulties, you may make written comments by contacting either the same email address used to sign up for this hearing, that's pscinfo@psc.mo.gov. You can contact the Office of the Public Counsel. They are at mopco@opc.mo.gov, or you can go to the Public Service Commission's webpage and follow the link for submit comments on the upper right-hand side. Just remember to include the case number, and that is GR-2021-0108. I want to thank you all for your attendance. Let's go off the record. We are adjourned.
Hey,
thank
Your
you all.
Honor? Hello? Hello?
Yes? Yes. Who's this?
Yeah, is there somebody there that could reread those links that you just provided? Because my pen stopped writing, and by the time I found a new pen, I couldn't find it.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I'm right. I'll repeat them right now. Lisa, we're off the record.
Thank you.
The email address for the Public Service Commission is